Matt got very, very, very excited.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Groove Junction. We are talking all things DJ community, and we are here, your host, DJ Matty F, and my learned friend, my learned colleague in the DJ world, Mr. DJ John Colley. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
All good for seeing you. Yeah, like always, when you pop up in front of me on the screen, I'd rather have you on the screen than in person, but that's another topic of conversation, no doubt. We'll get into when we get into the Liverpool conversation, because there is conversation to be had.
There is conversation to be had there. Yes, there
absolutely
is.
But before we do that, we need to get into the rundown, and we have a brand new sponsor of the Groove Junction.
The Groove Junction Rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile Magazine, the magazine that's got it all. It's a game changer. They don't just do surface-level reviews, they dive deep with real practical insights. And the interviews? They feature some heavy hitters sharing seriously valuable advice. But it's not just about DJ gear. They cover everything. Marketing techniques, and even the latest tech trends like AI, which is super relevant right now. Honestly, if you're serious about your DJ career, you need to check them out. And here's the best part, we've got an exclusive deal just for the Groove Junction listeners. You can subscribe right now by searching Pro Mobile Magazine and hitting the subscribe button. Just use our special code GroovePMSUB for a 25% discount on your first year's subscription, which is 6 magazines delivered to your door. That's Pro Mobile Magazine. Don't miss out.
Thank you, Pro Mobile Magazine, for sponsoring the rundown. Let's get into the rundown. So, John, how's your week been, my man?
Really good. Obviously, the normal 9 to 5 job, Monday to Friday. I had Friday night off, which was nice.
Good.
Because I knew that Saturday and Sunday, I was up against it, mate. I was back against the wall, mate. I was proper busy. Long day Saturday. As you know, we drove up to Liverpool for a silent disco.
We did.
Places, Liverpool Cathedral. So that was a very long day. A couple of hours kip. And then I did 2 children's parties back to back. Literally finished one, packed up, loaded the car, drove to the next one, unloaded, did the party, packed up, all back to storage and all that. So the weekend was busy, but the opposite way around. Normally I'm busy Friday, Saturday, but this time I was busy Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, it was good. Yeah, really enjoyed the weekend. So yeah. And yourself,
well, I was very much involved with the Saturday night shenanigans.
You know what? I was just about to say exactly the same word.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was St. Patrick's weekend. Liverpool was rammed to the absolute max. It was absolutely heaving. Everywhere you looked in Liverpool, there was people dressed up.
Yeah, they were all dressed up.
Yeah, out having a good time. But yeah, we did the largest silent disco that we've done to date in 3 years. 2,000 people in the cathedral. The cathedral, the first time I've stepped foot in that cathedral, it was stunning, absolutely stunning. And if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, there is some video that's going up in relation to what we were involved in and the silent disco itself, and our lighting crew and our event team, the production team. They absolutely made the cathedral look absolutely stunning. Now, as a building itself, it's stunning anyway, but they really turned it on. And what did they have? They had 16 very, very large moving heads, 3 lasers, I think in a region of around about 50 uplights.
62.
62 uplights, 3 cold spark machines. That's another story. 2 haze machines. And then to top it all off, did I mention the 3 lasers?
Mentioned the 3 lasers.
I did. Honestly, I'm just rattling off.
And the beam lights at the back.
And the beam lights.
I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, the beam lights on the floor at the back that were illuminating us and the stage. Ultimately, our light tech, who is an absolute wizard, a big shout out to Sam. He's an absolute wizard. He had, if anyone knows about DMX lighting, he had 5 universes
5
on the go.
universes.
That is a lot of DMX coding. That is a lot of daisy chaining, because it's not all remote. That is all daisy chaining DMX from one to the other. Yeah, unbelievable.
You know what? I mean, I like my DMX, and every time I do a silent disco and I see Sam, I am in awe of how he does it. You know, he's with his laptop, but he brought out the big boy controller.
Oh yeah.
He brought that out at the weekend, and you and I were standing there just gassing at one point, and he was trying to do these strip lights at the back. And straight away, he weren't doing what he did, but he knew exactly what the problem was. He went straight
Yeah.
out to, I forgot to unlock that light, you know, so it wouldn't swivel or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so when we were on the stage, it's quite a big stage.
Yeah.
You know, when we walked in to the cathedral for the first time, the stage looked about that big. Not that you could.
Looked tiny.
It did. It looked
No,
so
it
small.
did. I mean, to put it in comparison for people, so our normal setup in a normal cathedral or a town hall or city hall or stately home, etc., you're talking around about 3.5 hours to set up for a show.
Yeah.
This was 2 days.
Yeah.
All right, so that gives you an idea. 2 days it was of setting everything up. It was immense.
Yeah, and you'd think as well, because it's a 2-day job, you'd think that the crew members would be in the area of 15, 20 crew members. There wasn't.
No,
There was
just
what,
5.
5?
Just 5 of them.
But they
Yeah.
did pull it out of the bag, didn't they?
Yeah, massively. Unbelievable event. 2,000 people. Anyone who turned out at Liverpool, thanks for turning out. Fingers crossed we are going back. We've got rumours that we may be going back to Liverpool Cathedral later in the year. So I really hope that happens, because it was a magical place to be in.
It was. I mean, the actual building, as we drove in, didn't we? The sun was shining on the side of the cathedral. Now, it's the red brick cathedral in Liverpool. It is massive. Now, actually, Paul McCartney sung in the choir there as well.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I know you like a bit of Paul McCartney facts.
I don't know many of them, to be fair, but there's one of them.
Okay,
but yeah, I mean, a huge building. The sun on that side just made it look
it was
amazing.
stunning.
And then you go inside, and when they'd finished setting everything up, it really did look. It's probably one of the best productions I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%, you know, really good. And then
so that was what we got up to this weekend, and that completes the Pro Mobile rundown of the week. So welcome back. I'm going to kick things off this week in relation to conversation, because this sort of runs off the back of what happened in Liverpool. I put a reel on my social media page at DJ Matt EF, and it was around the Spark machines that were above the 3 DJs on stage at Liverpool Cathedral. Now, we talked about last week with Jack about viral videos, and I said I'm happy with 500, and for me that's viral. Within less than 12 hours, this video was, I think, on TikTok, 1,000. Hold on a minute, let me check.
Oh, he's got to check it now.
Got to check.
He's got to check it. Like, going back, if you haven't listened to the group Junction last week with the where we had the interview with Jack Christian, we were talking about TikTok videos and everything going viral and this, that, and the other. And he made a very good point by saying that if it is more than if your video reaches more people than what you would normally get, that's viral. So if you're getting 50 hits a day and then you put a video on, you get 500, you've gone viral. You don't have to have the hundreds of thousands of video views to go viral. It's whatever is more than the normal for you, which I thought was very good. Very good thing to note.
It was indeed. Yeah, it was indeed. So, like I said, I put on social media a little bit about the Sparks, because the cold Sparks, if people don't know, cold Sparks are basically very, very fine metal, and you put it into the machines, and then it heats up, up it goes, and it creates these sparks. Now, when sparks go up, they've got to come back down. And what also doesn't help is when you've got a haze machine with a bit of a fan blowing the haze into the cathedral behind said Sparks machines, and Sparks machines are behind said DJs. Those spark dusts and grit and grime are going to land on the DJs, including all of the equipment that's on the DJ riser, which is all of our controllers.
Yeah. You know what?
Honestly.
The more I think about it, I mean, every time they went off, we said it on the night, didn't we, Matt? We said,
Yeah.
you know what, makes a wicked picture, a great picture, great concept. It does, fantastic. But underneath, every time those sparks went off, you and I were just like, we were getting showered in these like very fine metal particles, if you like. But it was going over all of our, our controllers, our phones, laptops, microphones, phones, anything that was on there. This stuff was going on, and I could feel it on. I haven't got a lot of hair, so I could feel it, but it was going down the back of my neck.
Yeah,
And,
it was tough.
When you look at, I mean, just take the DJ stand itself: 3 DJs, 3 controllers. We've got to have between us, with microphones, everything, well over £10,000 worth of gear on that table.
Yeah.
And then you've got these metal filings. I mean, they weren't hot.
No.
Don't get me wrong, they weren't hot, but it was very fine. And
dusty crystal.
It was annoying. It got to the point where great, yeah. And it got to the point where we were just, luckily.
I was cursing, John. I was cursing. Now, like I said, I put the video, a very short reel, on TikTok and on Instagram, and we talked about viral videos. And for me, this has gone viral for me.
How many was it?
There's people out there that isn't. It's not really. It's not viral. I've had over 15,000 views on TikTok, and I've had 7,500 on Instagram, and it's not even been 24 hours yet.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Like, there's us talking about. Yeah. I'd never get over like 2, 3, 500, and but like then, that one.
Like Jack said, it could be just that one video.
Yeah.
And there you go. You just got the show, haven't you? But with all the spark streams, we did have a very handy tool in the laptop bag, didn't we, Matty?
Yes, we did have a very handy tool in the laptop bag, and that laptop bag contains a very nice soft paintbrush.
Yes, soft bristle.
And I can't. We want to talk about, giving off the old Groove Junction goodies.
It's the Groove Junction goodie.
But that is a Groove Junction goodie all day long. And actually, on my TikTok page, somebody who's been a lighting tech for 28 years, he said, I would definitely recommend anybody having a soft brush in their DJ bag for those reasons. Not just for sparks, but just for, at the end of the night, cleaning down your stuff.
It'll wipe down. It takes a couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, it was
It's a Groove Junction goodie.
It's definitely a Groove Junction goodie.
Yeah, we don't. It doesn't need to be an expensive paintbrush.
No,
just
as long as it's a soft bristle brush.
That's it.
That's all you need. But let's talk about special effects. Actually, what special effects have you worked alongside as a mobile DJ?
Right. So I have worked along spark streams, dry ice machines.
Right,
confetti cannons, haze machines, smoke machines. Off the top of my head, I think that's probably about all the special effects sort of machines that I've used.
Okay.
I mean, I've used a number of different types of haze machine and smoke machine over the years. I've used 2 or 3 different confetti cannon type ones, like ones that are electric and ones that are, remote controlled, that sort of thing. Big fan. Yeah. But so I've used, and I like them. Some of them.
What, all of them?
No, not all of them. No, I don't like the spark streams. The spark streams, don't like them. It's just.
Is that because of what happened at the weekend? Or
no, I've used them before for a gig, and to be fair, when I used them at the gig, nothing come over my equipment. I wasn't. But when I was packing up, I could feel it on the floor, and I'm thinking, I hope I haven't ruined this dance floor, because I could right do without getting a bill. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't like them. They take about 20 minutes, half hour to heat up. You've got to make sure the filings are in there. And the thing is as well with it, one of my biggest fears, whether it be a confetti cannon, whether it be a dry ice machine or the cold sparks, is that, we test them and they work great pre-gig. But then when you get to that point, say it's the first dance and they want spark street, and you push the button and nothing happens.
Well, I mean, you talk about special effects and you're talking about, that not so much the sparks, but I'm going to talk about lasers. So we were allowed to turn the lasers on at 9:00 in Liverpool Cathedral. That's what the guidelines have said. Yes, you can have lasers, but they've got to be on at 9 p.m. So we opened the doors 20 past 7. Nice and early for an 8 o'clock start. Start getting 2,000 people into a venue, handing out headphones takes a bit of time. So doors open early, get everybody in. Anyway, so the clock's ticking down, and the light tech's already come and told me and said, "Look, we can't turn it on until 9 o'clock. But like, when 9 o'clock goes, should we play some 90s club music?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do that." So literally 9 o'clock comes, and I've dropped Faithless, Insomnia, and I'm really, this is, to be honest, this is the first time I've whipped up the crowd to say, you want to get your phones out for this, because 3 lasers in a venue that size, like before we opened the doors, looked really good.
Yeah.
So I knew, I was like, get your phones out, blah, 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 blah. And, everything was fine when the doors opened, and prior to the doors opening, it was all looking great. Anyway, 9 o'clock comes, playing the song, and I know the lasers are going to come at the second drop, because that's what we've done previously. So I know it's coming. So I whip the crowd up. Anyway, second drop comes, no lasers. And I'm looking back behind me where the light tech is, Sam, and I'm looking back towards him, and he is probably, 20 yards, 30 yards away from us, behind us.
25, 30 yards, yeah.
Under a little bit of light, and I'm going, like, I'm signaling, like, what's going on? And he's like throwing his arms up in the air, and he can't get the lasers to work.
No.
He couldn't get lasers to work. And he was like trying to figure out what was going on. Get to the next song. And then towards the end of the second song that I played, the lasers came on, and the crowd went absolutely
They did go mad, didn't they? They did
so
go mad.
loud when the lasers came on. But yeah, talking about effects not actually working when you want them to work.
Yeah.
That gives you that example. I mean, I've never really, other than cold sparks, I've never used dry ice. I've never done that. Even, has anyone got, I'd like to know in the comments, actually, has anyone got one of those smoke machines that is a bubble machine that's got the smoke in the bubbles? Have you seen them?
You know what? I saw them at the BPM show a couple of years ago. I was like, oh my God, that is amazing. For a kids' party, Halloween, that sort of thing, wicked. The only problem was there was a couple of things I didn't like about it. Number one was the price. I wasn't overstruck on the price. But the throw, because it's got haze and it's got the bubble, the throw on it it's only a couple of foot. It's not a big throw. Now, it may have changed. I mean, this was a couple of years ago.
Right, okay.
But it just didn't have the throw on it. I want bubbles.
It's a little gimmick, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. I've got a video somewhere from the actual show that I took, and I did like it. It's a really good effect, but it's not enough. It's not enough for me. What I use, no. And you saying about things not working. The only other thing that I've had that didn't work was one of my confetti cannons for a big entrance, a surprise party. She walks through the door. I programmed the lights to light her up when she comes through the door, and then we've got metallic confetti coming over her as she, once she's inside. The battery on the remote dead.
No.
Worked on setup. Yeah, no problem. And then I'm pushing, nothing. I was just like,
so it didn't go off at all.
It did in the end, but it was a case of
she'd already walked down.
She'd walked in and everything. By the time the actual confetti cannon went off, it was just like, oh, that was a waste. So, and I probably, well, to be fair, it was included in the price, so I was all right with that one. To be fair, but I explained. I said, I'm really, really sorry. So now I'm always make sure I've got extra batteries in the
nice one
in the whole.
Nice.
So there you go.
Good.
Yeah. Dry ice machine. Sorry.
Yeah, go on. I was just about to say, other than the sparks and stuff, dry ice. No, I've never used it.
So it's lovely. It's a lovely effect. It gives you, if you could do it for bride and groom, it gives that effect of dancing on the clouds, and it is lovely. Drawbacks to it, in my opinion, is you need a lot of water to heat up the water because the dry ice goes in. Yeah. So you need to order in the dry ice prior to the gig. You need to make sure that's another thing you got to logistically think about, because you need to make sure that dry ice is there on the day. Yeah. The dry ice will last a couple of minutes, if that.
Really?
And then it's got.
Just fades
out. But the thing is, it hugs the floor, because it's dry ice hits the water, the hot water, and it keeps it to the floor. So it gives you that effect. But then it's gone in minutes.
I purchased many years ago a smoke machine that you could add ice to.
I've got one. I've got one.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got one. Still got it.
I had one a long time ago,
Mm.
and I was like, "Yeah, this is great. Get it out." Absolute. It didn't last. Didn't really give the effect that I was hoping it would, and I was just like, "There you go. Just
Yeah.
find some more money away."
I'll be honest, I bought one, and the idea I wanted for
Halloween.
yeah, it was for
Yeah,
Halloween. And
obviously.
one of the venues I do is a soft play area, right? And they walk through an archway. And the idea is as they walk through the archway, that this smoke will be above them and it will fall down like they're walking through. So it's just one curtain of
Yep.
smoke. That effect didn't happen.
No,
It didn't happen
is it?
at all.
It's not. Yeah,
No,
it's
but
yeah.
it is
What
it
a
is.
waste.
Yeah, it was a bit of a waste. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I know the machine you're talking about.
So yeah, special effects. Anyone use special effects? I'd love to know in the comments how you got on with them, what worked for you, what didn't work for you. Let's do that whole sharing is caring.
Remember, sharing is caring.
There you go.
Can I just
And
add? Sorry, but can I
Go.
just add that I know we're going to talk about the Pro Mobile magazine in a little while, but in there, one of the other special effects, there's an advert for the it's like a gobo projector. So you get these gobo projectors where you can have hearts and whatever, just projector, but you could get little gobos made up with their like the bride and groom's name and things like that.
Yep.
That's another special effect type thing that
Is
I've
that a
used.
special effect?
Well, I think it is. I think well.
Listen, in the comments, I would want to know. John thinks that's a special effect.
I do.
Me,
'cause
I don't think it's a special effect.
I think it's special because you can personalise it, which makes that special.
Oh,
I'm clutching at straws here.
you are a little bit. It's a great argument. Let us know in the comments. Is that a special effect? Having a gobo with the bride and groom's name on it. I
Would
don't
you
think that's. Go
would
on.
you say that the mirror ball is a special effect?
No,
Would you not?
no,
The mirror ball spinning round, a nice bit of haze, light cutting through the haze.
Haze is a special effect.
Yeah.
A mirror ball is not a special effect.
What about the effect that it gives off with the haze, though?
No, I want to know, people in the comments, back me up here. I want to know what you think is a special effect. Is
I'm
a mirror
partly
ball
right.
a special effect? 1. Is a gobo personalized a special effect? 2.
Yes.
Right? That's what I want. In fact, I'm going to, if you're watching on Spotify, I'm going to put a vote in there. All right?
I see it's like that, is it?
Do you think John's
Yeah. Gobo
idea
projector.
of a special effect is actually a special effect? Yes or no? The voting is there. All right, it's going to be in there. Let us know what you think, John.
Special effects, not like special like you. No, right. Special effects.
Special effects, which we've just talked about, not all the additional things that you keep, adding into the mix. Mirror ball. Anyway, I don't want to, sway our listeners in any way, shape, or form in relation to the vote.
There'll be no swaying involved, mate, because all of our listeners know that I am right on this.
Okay, once again, we're going to stop that because you're trying to sway the vote. I think it's time you go to the toilet, John.
You know what? Do with having a break.
Go on then.
After the break.
Did you wash your hands?
Did I wash my hands?
Yes.
Silly
You went to the
question.
toilet, John. We have that break where you have to go off.
Yeah, I
Go to
don't.
the
Well,
toilet.
Yeah, you know what? Right, it's funny.
Go to the
right,
restroom for our American listeners.
You talk about the restroom, right? Now, very quickly.
All right.
I did a gig the other week in Guildford, right?
Yes.
Silent disco, and
You
I was a
did.
little bit tired, so I thought, you know what? In our rider, we had Red Bull. I had a can of Red Bull, mate. I was back and forward to the toilet that night probably about 8 times, right?
Because of Red Bull.
Because of Red Bull, right?
Oh wow.
I was tired on Saturday night at Liverpool. I thought, no, I'm not going to have a Red Bull, which was a good job because the closest toilet for us DJs was outside.
Do you know what? I wish you'd had a Red Bull because that means you wouldn't have fallen asleep on the way home from Liverpool and left me, the driver, doing his thing on his own. Just
You know what? I had a half-hour power nap. Half hour.
Half an hour?
Was it longer than half an hour?
It was longer than half an hour, John.
I must admit, I did miss the M6 toll road. I missed that completely.
It was when you said, "Is this the start of the M6 toll road or the end?" No, I just paid at the end. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
you're falling into Brad's world
It's the
of
first time I've been asleep in the car, to be fair.
all right.
I have kept you company the rest of the time.
I had 2 collies sleeping in the car. I had daughter collie in the back seat and
Yeah, she was sound, mate.
father collie in the front snoring away.
Oh,
Anyway,
was I snoring?
I listen.
Man, come on.
Anyway, enough of that. Gonna talk about because the next week's episode is going to be a really interesting one because this coming weekend we are at the Pro Mobile Focus and Retreat. Now, the Pro Mobile Focus and Retreat, I went for the first time last year. They held it in January last year. It falls on a Sunday and a Monday, but this year they're doing it in March. And I went to the first one last year off the back of DJ247, who was very complimentary about it, said you got to get in there. And luckily enough, I did get the last ticket for that. For the event. So I was absolutely buzzing to get down there. Now, the Focus and Retreat, its main goals is one, bringing the mobile DJ community, as well as other DJs, I would say, but mainly focusing around the mobile DJ and the business side of things. And it was a real eye opener for me around what I needed to do with my own business and my side of things. Just park the silent disco stuff because I do that for other people. But in relation to my own stuff, that is still something that I'm looking to drive and push. And it opened my eyes listening to a lot of people at the Focus and Retreat. One within the networking side of things the day before, on the first day, sorry, I should say, on the Sunday. And then on Monday is more the seminars. And the seminars were really interesting because it made me actually go, yeah, I'm missing a trick there.
Yeah.
I need to address that. And a lot of the stuff that was mentioned, I have taken away and utilized it. I'm not saying all of it, but there was stuff that I went, actually, yeah, that makes sense doing it like that. And once again, this goes back a little bit, John. I'll let you come in a second. This goes back a little bit around what we are trying to achieve by having this podcast and that education piece that we always talk about with a little bit of comedy on the side, which is me obviously taking the mickey out of you and you trying to do the same back of me, but never ever
fail.
works.
No.
But what I'm saying is that I think this is a real game changer. And I say that because it has massively helped me. The way that I now do things and approach things, I think is a lot more professional. I'm not somebody who is constantly pushing out my private business side of things because I'm in a very fortunate position with the silent disco stuff that I'm doing that pretty much every weekend. So at this moment in time, for me personally, from a business side of things, it's a slow burner for me. I see the long game of me being in the mobile DJing industry, whereas at this moment in time, the silent disco stuff, I am riding that wave and it's a really big wave right now and people are loving it. I'm loving it and getting loads of enjoyment out of it.
Yep.
But from a private mobile DJ, I have done a number of things in a year since that last session. I've registered my company with Company's House. I've really focused, and that's what it's called. It's called the Focus and Retreat. I've really focused and aligned things that weren't aligned previously.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. It does. You're absolutely right. I mean, what you're saying is, ride that train with the silent disco as long as it's going running, man. Just ride that. But then, you have also got your private stuff, which you've admitted that you pulled out things from last year's Focus and Retreat and you've already utilised them into your own business. And I did the same. There were certain things that I took, but I also took away things from the networking side, talking to other DJs, yourself, 247 and TJ, took away the use of a CRM. I didn't even know what a CRM was until you demonstrated your CRM to me at the table. I was like, so now I've utilised that into my company, and it's amazing. Just that one little 5-minute conversation.
We're going to, like I said, we're both going, and next week's episode, we're hoping to speak to a number of people at the event to give you a bit of insight, give our listeners a bit of an insight in relation to what's actually happened. If people aren't going there already, let us know in the comments if you're going to be there. Come and say hello.
Yeah.
But in relation to the agenda, so the 2 days, the first day is made up of more of a meet and greet, meet other people within the industry, and then in the evening there is the Pro Mobile Awards. Now we have banged on about the Pro Mobile Awards over a few weeks now, and there's loads of categories, and we will definitely report back on next week's podcast in relation to who were the successful winners in relation to those categories. But you can also go onto Facebook and go onto Pro Mobile Awards, and you can watch the live stream awards ceremony as well. So do that if you can, which is on Sunday night. But yeah, go on to Pro Mobile Awards on Facebook and you'll get the links there. But so that's basically made up of the first night, and then the second day is made up of all of the, I would say, the business side of it.
The business side of it. The serious stuff.
So on the agenda on the Monday, we've got a talk from a business entrepreneur called Chris Collins, and it's entitled "Double Your Revenue and Have Your Personal Input." So that will be an interesting one. There's also focus group sessions around discussions about your own business, how it's benefited, what benefits you, what works for you, what doesn't work with you. And we've got virtual assistants as well. There's CRM talks as well. You've just touched on what I showed you and 247 showed you last year. DJ software tips and tricks, and we've also got DMX lighting, and also AI in your business. Now, AI in your business is a real interesting one. So I'll be really keen to report back to everyone what that looks like and how that sits.
AI is massive everywhere now.
It's the big thing at the moment.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So be interesting to know how that is, how that works.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how that. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how that goes. So that's a packed Monday on that agenda. So like I said, next weekend we will definitely report back in relation to what happens at this year's Pro Mobile Focus and Retreat, and hopefully we can shed some gems on you, some
Junction Goodie.
hopefully give you a few of those, and then fingers crossed it might help and benefit our listeners out there wherever you are in the world.
I believe there is something there for everyone, no matter whether you're a mobile DJ, a club DJ, or whatever sort of DJ you are. There'll be something that everyone will take away from this focus and retreat.
Yeah,
I'm sure of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure of that.
I did.
I did.
Yeah, and one of the big things I took away was you, John Colley.
You know what? Right, that is probably the best thing you took away from last year's retreat. You know what? Actually, right, I'm going to go.
I can give you back this year's.
They did say no refunds or exchanges, but it is worth pointing out. I mean, yes, we've only known each other just over a year.
Yep.
Right now, we don't tell each other everything, right?
Close.
And this is quite evident because on last week's podcast, we had Jack Christian and we had a great interview with Jack. We had great conversations, but you neglected to tell anybody that last week you celebrated your birthday. Right? Now, I think that such landmark events in the year, obviously you being that bit older than everybody else.
This is the only way you can get me back in any way, shape, or form is because I am older than you.
Yeah.
Your paper round must have been absolute hell. Honestly, your paper round was tough.
Mate, when you was my age, there weren't even papers. That's how old you are.
Wow.
But listen, no, seriously, happy birthday for last week.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And
I have to remind you again because you're getting a bit older. I'll remind you again.
What did you just say?
I said I might have to remind you again because you're getting a bit older.
Oh, and a bit senile. What did you just say again?
It's okay, Matt.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks everyone. I did get a few messages of of happy birthday last week, which is great. Lovely. I love that. We won't talk about how old it actually is, but yeah, we'll move on. And it wasn't a landmark, as you pointed out.
It wasn't a landmark.
That's next year. But what we're also going to talk about, and once again, we've picked up a sponsor for the show, which is Pro Mobile magazine, and we're going to talk about the Pro Mobile magazine that's dropped this week.
Yes.
It landed online at the weekend, and people are receiving their hard copies probably over the next few days. So no doubt once this podcast drops, you would have received yours. And if you haven't, as the advert has said at the start in the rundown, we are offering, the lovely people at Pro Mobile magazine are offering a 25% discount to new subscribers. So you're ultimately getting 6 wonderful magazines that is really going to help you and give you a fair bit of advice and other bits and pieces in there for 12 quid.
Yeah, 12 quid. I mean, the magazine, I've already received mine, and I've read most of it because my car was in the garage today, so I've read most of it. There's interviews with people.
Is there?
Yes, I will come. I'm going to circle back to that one though. There's reviews on all the latest equipment that's coming out, that is out, that sort of thing. There's a competition as well where you can win, and we're not talking like little prize. We're talking this month's prize is a JBL speaker, battery operated Bluetooth mixer on the back there. It's worth 500 quid. Or you got there's competitions there. So the interviews, there's profiles. This is what you want to know, isn't it? This is the profile. So there's each month they do a profile.
Each edition. This is a 2-month, isn't it? You said each month.
Sorry. Apologies.
It's a double month edition.
It takes me 2 months to read it because it's jam packed with info.
Nice.
Yeah, like that. So the profile this month is the other half of the Groove Junction, which is just DJ Matty F, which you can see on your screen if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube. Full profile of where Matt's DJing. Is obsession a fair word to use?
Obsession. I'd go with obsession.
Yeah, I would as well, because
call it a career right now.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, it tells you how he started back when he was 8 years old, and right up to the present day, the highs, the lows, the successes, the unsuccessful. Tells you everything in there, and I don't really want to give out a little spoiler.
Go on,
but I'm going to.
Do one spoiler.
I'm going to do,
because we've not talked about this.
We haven't spoken about this, right? Mate, honestly, out of your profile, I could pull out loads of bits. Matt got very, very, very excited over one piece of DJ equipment.
Yes,
the telephone headset.
There you go.
Yeah, that made me chuckle, along with a couple other things. I don't want to tell anybody else. Read it.
Okay, talking about the hands. So the telephone handset that you use as headphones.
As headphones, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
it was huge back in the 80s. Everyone did it. See, now once again, I'm showing my age. It's just giving that one away. When I was like, I need to have that. I need to have one of those in my life. And I learned how. I didn't actually write this in the profile. I learned how to solder.
Oh, okay.
Because I used a jack and cut the I cut. It wasn't our telephone that we had at home. It was one that had been used and been thrown away, and I was given the all clear by parents to said cut telephone wire. See, with wires. There's the young audience on our podcast listeners going, wires?
Yeah.
What? A telephone with wires? Are you mad? So I cut the wires and then I soldered it to a jack, and I used it. There you go.
So multi-talented, aren't you, Matty? You're so multi-talented.
Listen, up here for dancing, down there for thinking, innit?
Yeah, right, mate. Yeah. Now you're showing your age. I mean, back in the 80s, I was watching Postman Pat.
Right. I was asked to write a little feature in there,
and it's very good. I've read the whole profile article. I've read the whole thing, and it is a good read. To be fair,
thanks, mate.
Very good.
But so Pro Mobile magazine's out. This edition is out, and like I said, we've got our Groove Junction code. So if you are a brand new subscriber, or want to be a brand new subscriber to the Pro Mobile magazine, go in, search Pro Mobile magazine, hit subscribe, and then put in your discount code of Groove PM sub. That's Groove PM sub. There you go.
25% off, as easy as that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Mate, I will see you this weekend. What we got? What you got
Thanks
going
for the
on this
warning.
weekend? What you got going up this weekend?
Right, so Friday, a 13th birthday.
Nice.
Saturday, a 50th wedding anniversary.
Ooh,
Sunday, Monday, the Focus and Retreat
there
down
you
in
go.
the New Forest. So, yes.
Love that.
And
So
yourself, you got anything prior to the Focus Retreat?
yeah.
Okay. Come on then, old man. Tell us.
I can't remember. I'm getting old. Saturday. Look what you've done to
You
me,
weren't
Collie.
joking, were you?
Look what you've done to me, Collie. Saturday, I am Oxford Town Hall.
Nice.
Silent disco, 90s style.
Love it.
And then Sunday, I am heading down to the New Forest for the
Looking forward
Focus
to it.
and Treat. So
Yeah.
I will see you in the bar Sunday night.
I was planning on getting into the bar Sunday afternoon.
I will see you in the bar Sunday afternoon. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the listeners in listening land across the world, thank you for listening to the Groove Junction. My name's DJ Matty F, and my learned friend, DJ John Colley, are the Groove Junction. Let your friends know who we are, and you can search for us on all podcast providers and YouTube, and you can also watch it on Spotify, and you can also go and click on our website as well. It's all there.
Like, follow, share, subscribe. Do all the
Do
good
all
stuff.
of that.
Do
Do
all
all
the
of
good stuff.
that. It's all in the description.
Absolutely.
Go check it out. Have a great week, man. Take care.
And you take care.
See you soon.